Hi, everyone. Welcome to the community show for Alliance Crib. We got a couple of people on here tonight. Unfortunately, some people couldn't join us, but the ones that can, thank you for showing up. It is a raid time. People's time is precious, so we do appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and start introducing everybody. Right from the left, we got Nemo. Welcome, Nemo. And I'm going to go to
Hello.
my own YouTube.
Hello.
I did the cardinal sin, gentlemen, and I screwed it up right from the beginning. And we got Paulo, of course. Thanks for showing up, buddy.
Hello.
We got Ace coming in at the last minute, right under the buzzer.
Oi.
And, of course, we got Silent Kill.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
So we're just going to throw this out generally. We'll go and start it right off the bat. How are you guys finding it? Starting with Nemo. What do you think about this raid so far?
Well, I started out trying to do some A sets, and they were a lot harder than I expected. So I ended up going to B sets, and I had to step away from the game for a little bit. I was just so frustrated. Probably cost me a little bit to do that. So.
Paulo, what do you think? How you finding it? Quick impressions, gentlemen, just off the top of your head.
Well, to be honest, I'm not even playing this raid. Super busy with work, so I'm just kind of here just to shoot the shit.
It's good. No, at least somebody's here. We're not doing it alone. I appreciate everyone in the panel that showed up just so that I didn't have to sit here and talk to this camera and the internet for 60 minutes. I don't think anyone in the world wants to watch me babble on for 60 minutes. So thank you. You did the world a favor. Ace, what do you think about this raid? Shoot.
Yeah, not too bad. It's a bit harder than I originally thought it was going to be, but if you sort of grind at it and get there, you can get it done.
All right, Kill, what are you thinking? What do you got so much silence?
Well, honestly, I'm a little disappointed. Just because I thought it was going to be more like last raid, but with the help of my alliance, I'm able to grind out some A sets pretty good, and so thanks to them, I'm having an okay raid.
Good. All right, well, we have a couple big news stories, points for this raid. I, be honest, I've only got a chance to play with one A set target and a set of Bs. Crashed out hard last night. Today was going to be my day, so we'll see. Like always, I'm going to say it off the top of the bat, guys. Remember to keep your eye on the crib page. There will be suggestions, tips, tricks all through the raid weekend. It's a 6-day event, so just remember there's going to be information out there. So it's not just today. Just remember to keep your eyes out. I want to start off at the top of the bat. We got some notes from a friend of ours. 80s. They're sniperable with the newer sub. Anybody else finding that? Tried that technique out? Apparently you can range it with
I just witnessed that just before the show when I was watching a few of the panel members here kind of show me how they were doing it, and they were going in and taking the boats out with the missile fleets, and then coming in and taking the rest out with the subs, and it made it look rather easy, and then finishing it off with a nice long-range missile fleet. So it made it look a lot easier than the way I was doing it, which, like I said, just really kind of just pissed me off to the point where I was ready to rage quit and call the raid done.
Yeah,
but I didn't.
I had my little moment of like, do I even want to fuck with this when I saw some of the A's and the way those heavy cruisers behaved?
Well, they were just so much harder. And what we expected was it to be more like the last raid. I mean, maybe not just, turn, trigger, kite, kill, maybe not that, but, it was nice that they actually put some land in there to give us something to use. But then they turned around and added so much thermal that no one hit's going to do it. You're going to have to go in and prep it and then take different parts of it apart, which adds to the amount of time. And then you add the deduction of the points values for the targets, and now you're talking... people need a lot of points, and even though it's a 6-day raid, I don't think they're ready to sit down for 20 hours a day for 6 days.
Yeah, the thermal range is definitely an issue. I've seen it ever since they really came out with the Tiger Sharks. We've been facing far greater thermal range than what we can deal with even the longest range torpedoes. So they've just shut that whole line out. I was doing 67B, and I just showed the guys in the pre-show here. It was just the line of "fuck you" from Kickstarter. Thermal. Oh wait, we're gonna sneak another one right down here. They're just closing off the back ends and forcing you to either pull it, use zombies, or use a whole fleet and smash into it. Which on these wasn't too bad. I think I've got 3 coins, and that's after doing 3 or 4 boats out of a B and just throwing them at him for trial, so I could speak from some point of knowledge for tonight. It's not a lot, but something. They just kind of did it across the map. The weapon range is longer, the thermal's longer. It's kind of a little jab the needle a little further in. What do you guys think?
Well, it is. It is very much like that. I mean, they hand us a nice teaser and tell us it's going to be similar to last one, but it's only similar in format. It's different in every other way. So while we basically thought, well, we'll just keep preparing for what we had to deal with last time, what we got served up was a whole different dish. Nobody was ready for it.
That's kind of where I was coming with it too. You know, when I said I was disappointed because I spent this entire last month getting my V2s ready for this raid. You know, I'm especially getting them ready for the Scourge, and it's just, you know, like I said before, if I hadn't had help from my alliance, I would not be doing good at all. Like my V2s, they're legendary with blades and everything, and they're just getting raped pretty much. So
The heavy cruiser seems to be the wrecking ball of everybody. I've never seen speed like that out of. They've always been better than ours. They've always had better ranges. We'll talk about one of those in a few minutes. Good God.
I thought
But
the Reavers were supposed to be the Speed Legion.
yeah, apparently everything's the Kixeye is the speed group. Anything they have or anything they use against us is so dramatically increased from what we can do. Yeah.
R16.
They've done it for years and years
Yep.
and years and years. It's
The
never
only thing that
changed.
comes to mind, you know.
They've knocked out our ability to kite their fleets for years. That we've known that's going to happen. But when did the missile cruisers get such a fucking long range? Not even MCXs. Like they could have. I could understand if they smacked me in the face with the MCX and said, "Hey, deal with it." But you're just hitting me with missile cruisers from like 110 range.
Yeah, if you're gonna go anywhere into range, what do you think of that new boss target's range? Can hit you from everywhere.
Yeah, it's. What do you guys think about that target? What do you guys think about it? Give some impressions.
Oh, the 89?
Yeah, the
Too much damage
special target.
for what it does. I don't really like it. I
Well, it's
just
got
leave them
that,
out on the map and just let someone else take them.
It's got
Anybody
that
else?
retargeting or whatever, that the extended range or whatever. So as long as you get rid of all the other stuff, then it doesn't have that bad of a range. It's still long, but it also fires everything at you. It's firing drones and mortars and missiles and whatever the hell else it has at it. So, it's still just that one little ship, though. I mean, it's a big image, but it's still just that one little spot.
Yeah, the fact that it has remote targeting, but yeah, those mortars really hurt. If they come down on you, you're gonna wake up in a hurry. I hope you have some antis in your fleet if you're gonna try to do that. Do some of the tails.
I've been just handing them off. The first one I did was so painful. I just handed it every time I come across one. And just here, take it. I think most people are. You either have the right fleet for it or you don't.
Yeah, you're either set to go or you're not. What do you guys think about the animation? That's what I've heard from a lot of people. Is that's their favorite part. I know somebody who's just hitting it, just for the fuck of it. Well, they're a big corner anyway, but they love the way it looks when it blows up. Actually, the stage it goes through it from front to back, and then just quick disappears.
It is neat to watch it blow up. I found out the hard way that you hit it and it dies, and then there's like the 3 seconds of it blowing up, and I found out the hard way because I'm using a Frosty to give it the debuff. Found out the hard way, get out of there quick because it can actually whack you with the explosion, I think.
I'm okay with that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Anybody else got any comments on those before we move on?
I just watched Ewok hit it like as soon as they first came out, and I was like, nope, not for me. I'll pass.
Fuck that noise.
Yeah, pretty much.
Actually,
Repairing. Sorry, small segue. Talk amongst
My
yourselves. Children.
I was going to say, my comment on that 89 was that I just happened to have, I had very weirdly built ships. I had like some hailstorms, some phalanx, some gales, some of those Trident missiles or whatever. I never really settled on a countermeasure, and it worked perfectly for that because it threw so much stuff at me, but all my rhinos just happened to have one of everything, and I think that's what was helping me out. I've been doing the 89s because for me it worked out, but...
Nice. Ace, I'm sorry I didn't catch it. Did you give any opinions on those?
Yeah, I don't really have much to do with them really. I've hit like probably 6 or so, and yeah, I don't like the splash that the mortars bring out. They like just get you from everywhere, sort of thing. So I just stay clear of them.
Nice. All right, let's move it along then. What do you guys think? Anybody try the C tier, the low ones, the Drac tier? Anybody think about those before we move on? If we do, as much as we think this is not a good raid for low people, we kind of want to see get some impressions about if there's anything they can do on those C targets on the 40s.
I think the lower players are better off doing something else, but I've been doing the Bs and kind of riding the middle of the fence, and I'm getting pretty good results from Bs because, I mean, it was taking me multiple fleets to take out an A target, but with those same 2 or 3 fleets that I was using to take an A target out, I can go take multiple sets of Bs out and just getting a lot farther with that. I think some people just need to step back, and if you can't do it with the Bs, take a look at the Cs, and if you can't do that, maybe it's time to think about maybe a campaign or something.
Anybody else got any opinions on those Cs? I do want to go and get some information out there, see if there's anything, anybody had any impressions on them at all, any advice on them at all. We do want to be thorough in this the best we can, and we're going to talk a lot about Bs. That seems to be the way to go, but you never know. If somebody wants to try it, we want to give them some help. So anybody got anything?
The thing that I noticed on C's is that some of our lower players, I mean, they've been around a long time. They've just never coined. They've just never had the luck with the hulls or whatever. But they're asking for help with C's. And to me, if you've been in this game 3-4 years and you're still having a hard time hitting C's, that tells me that it's still trumped up too much. But
Yeah, and just somebody with a whole lot of letters and numbers in their name just put in the chat there that the C tier, you can sub the whole C tier out if you have the Sharon. But again, if you've got the Sharon, why are you messing with C's? You know, why don't you just go hit a real target?
I mean, the points aren't. I mean, what's the point, Ray? Anybody done the math on the C's?
Well, the points are lousy. To me, depending on what you're going to get, I mean, if you're going to go get you're going to need better fleets to get points than you're going to get with those points.
you're going to stay down at that tier is what it is, because you're going to get a Mako or something, which nobody's used since 2013.
And you're going to need a nice sub with Sharons to go get your Mako.
I love the circle there. There are a couple that are preppable out of the Bs. You can prep the backside at least in the 61 at least. So there's a little hope there. We talked about what low level should do, and I think the most important thing they should do is their campaigns. Anybody looked at the list, seen what they really liked? There's a couple people that I've heard that said that they should focus on the Sea of Flames, because the prizes in there would work well for low levels. But what do you guys think? Any advice?
Well, the V2s are exactly what you need. So if you go and do the Sea of Flames campaign and get the V2H out of there, at least you're heading in the right direction, And if you've got a nice Sharon torpedo sub and you've got a V2, well, then you shouldn't have any problem with the Bs. And at that point, you can stop, trying to do Cs and taking enormous damage, and then, invariably giving up because your boats can't handle a B. And honestly, I can just about auto Bs with second-rate fleets now. I'm taking my old fleets, and they can just auto Bs and take tiny damage. So I wouldn't recommend a C for anybody. I mean, if you're doing Cs, you might want to just ask for a little help.
Yeah, so the Bs are pretty easy, really. I don't mind the Bs. I just auto them, have a Frosty at the front with 2 of the Mastodons, and I even just chucked in, what were they, the Tritons, just for countermeasures, and it was just knocking out all the missiles, and I was pretty much just walking through the whole set.
Nice. Yeah, this is always a time for the half repairs to go ahead and do that. Speaking of repairs, Kickside did a little bit of a favor to the community. What do you guys think about it? What did you guys think about that change this week? it would be amiss if we didn't talk about some of these changes, what happened, how it affected it. Supposedly, it didn't happen to the fleets were fighting. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, but they did make some big changes this week. So start off the top of the bat. The change in repair time. 20% across the board on all hulls. What do you guys think? Is that enough? Too little? Too much? Just costs.
They put they put too much emphasis on armors we don't use. I mean, the cadmium armor, although it's nice, it's still not good enough to replace. I mean, they could put so much repair modifier on it, but then all you're doing is accepting more damage so you can repair for cheaper instead of just avoiding the damage. I mean, they would have to take that cadmium and, I don't know, use it like cadmium and make it radioactive or corrosive resistant, maybe even give it a little bit of the sacrificial, half of the evade, leave it on there. I mean, I just can't see using it. It's still, just with speed, not good enough, and even 60% doesn't make me want to do it. Not to mention, I'm not sure that the repair was working right on the map for a while there. I think for a while my map repair and my regular repair was exactly the same, like it was old, like I didn't get my 20% or something.
Yeah, it's confirmed. It was confirmed for a while there that the first night it was not working right. A lot of people lost some money on that. So just always check it. Kind of check your references. It's a game made by humans, so sometimes shit doesn't work right. Yeah. Don't forget about that.
It was nice to see a lot of weapon weights come down, but it was on a lot of stuff that we're not using.
Yeah, BP Prof did a big write-up on that on the Wednesday show. Hope you guys got to see it. He did make a small mistake that he wanted us to tell everyone. He said the missile chart was wrong from the last show. It's going to change. He didn't get a chance to take an effective researches, so he'll extrapolate it on that more on either one of the pages or his blog or wherever he chooses to give us information. So we appreciate the service that he does. I know I don't want to crunch the numbers. I don't know. I don't want to do the math. I just want the baby. I don't want to have to put up with it. Let's see. What else? Let's talk about crews. What do you think works well for crews for this raid? Anything you guys have top of that, the must-have items?
Well, Bullseye Brigade. I mean, I don't think our evade's working as well as their evade's working. And I'm not even sure a Bullseye Brigade even works, but, so I've been told Bullseye Brigades are a good idea, as usual. If you're using subs, you're probably going to want to use a sub crew to help your subs out. I'm sure that'll help. But wolf packs, I heard, were pretty good if you're using a lot of your missile fleets, so just depends on what you're doing. You're going to need the appropriate crews for sure. I just think it sucks that we have to go 6 days with no uranium to roll these idiotic crews while I sit there and get lucky bastards and double uranium crews and things that I don't need during the raid.
Don't forget your sea serpents.
Anything to do with subs. Yeah.
Look at the crowd loving the sea serpents because the love for the steelheads too, running deep.
Steelheads too. Yep.
Oh, it's great. I've actually started to love steelheads recently. I kind of ignored them for a long time, and the second level steelheads are pretty useful in a lot of situations, especially like this where evade's not working. When you just bump your raw defenses, it's always good consideration. Don't forget about them. A lot of people just fucking ignore crews, and if you're gonna do this shit, you might as well. I mean, I hope you have some uranium. I came in with like 30, 12. Forgot about that research, so I'm a little slack on it, but I'm loaded up. Just don't forget about your crews. Get your daily, use them. Any money that you don't have to spend is good. Don't forget.
Well, that's the thing. The new Cobra that I'm researching is 30 and 40,000 a day, and there's no way I'm going to be able to get what I have stretched for 6 days. So they really need to address getting us some uranium.
Have you guys had problems?
Bring out the armadas or something.
Yeah. Have you had problems getting your armadas? I mean,
we can't get them. We can't get our bar to stay up and go up. And once it goes up, we can't get it to stay up. Yet the neighboring sector is maxed out constantly. So for a week, I jumped to the neighboring sector, and with no effort at all, I was able to single-handedly keep that bar up and find targets everywhere. But Matt, our bar, not at all.
You had a comment there, Matt?
Oh yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, with those new 60s and the 60s are actually, you can do, with rhinos, you can do a number of them and for like a day's repair and just have quite a bit of uranium. I always forget about crews, but I haven't had a problem with uranium since those things came out. But as far as getting the bar up, most of us, or at least some of us, have got a lot of ships out there. You just add a few phalanx hailstorms to your old ships. Most of them can auto 51s, 71s, and I'll just send out like all 14 fleets or whatever, auto a whole bunch of stuff, and it just bumps that thing right out of teal back into orange again. And then I just happen to be in an area where I always end up with the 60 right next to my base, so that's kind of nice. But I mean, I haven't had a problem with them popping up. But Nemo's right. A lot of times when we go to the whatever that big thing is on the top, you go to look for 60s and 75s. It's always sending us to the next sector, even when we have them in our sector.
Yeah, we've been in 22 for a while, and it's just not. It is so hard to get that up there. I have my sub set up in the living room where I'll do this, and I still sit here while I'm watching TV, auto 2 sets of subs all day long, constantly. Still, it barely moves. It takes a mass effort in my sector to get it to move up there. So.
You do have to pick them up, though, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll clean up my ass behind me, but yeah, you do have to clean up behind it for it to kind of keep any sort of consistency in your effort. Let's see. What do you guys want to talk about? Throw some topics. It's Christmas raid. What do you think about prizes? What do you guys want? What is in your holiday stocking this year from this raid? What do you guys want? Hook me up with some information here, gentlemen.
Definitely another Harlock Aegis.
I want one. I want any kind of Aegis. Any kind, Santa. I'll take whatever I can get. Just throw it down the chimney.
Follow closely behind this new Durakin carrier with the amount of siege DPS deflection and assault deflection. It makes it a really, really good hull with a really high evade start as well, with 30%.
It's a monster.
It is a monster.
Before we go any further, I want to say quickly, Kixie did put a full list up on the forums with all the weapons changes. Rooster dropped it as raw math up there. It's tons and tons and tons. You can go pedal through it, but it's out there. But go back to the shopping list.
I like that new boat. That new carrier is exciting. The new drone and everything. Very nice looking boat. I wouldn't mind getting that. But I've been looking at that Phantom Tiger Shark because, I think that's going to be the new menace, really. I mean, I like my Cobra scatterguns. It helps me a lot doing 85s because I can go in there and take some of that stuff out with the Cobras that I can't do, and I don't like to take as much damage. And just simply 2-shot in 85s now for 1 coin is beautiful, because I can get that. I can scrape along the edge of it with those Cobras and rim the whole thing.
That's nice. Yeah, bastard.
Well,
yeah, the Tiger Phantom is probably a great deal for those of us who have Tigers because you can actually now run it with a full fleet of things like we used to do with Nighthawks. I mean, the only other thing that if you can't get the Phantom, just put a Phantom or if you can't get the Phantom Tiger, get the Phantom Nighthawk. But I mean, I think that's pretty good. The Draconian UAV ship is going to be interesting because they changed the way that UAVs are kind of doing damage. It's now a quick boom, and that may bring UAVs back into the forefront again, especially with all the other buffs to the hull. But UAVs were just so slow to damage, and I haven't seen them around for months.
Yeah, they haven't been around. Nobody uses them anymore. This one is more like a quick flyby. This is the drive-by of the UAV world. So these bitches come by, hit you, move on to the next target. And the idea, apparently, is a quick round trip. So you kind of always have them out. So we had to see how that works. I haven't seen any videos. Anybody seen any videos on them yet? Any crazy person paid for it right off the damn bat?
Just people have been doing 89s.
Yeah.
And don't forget with the UAV that it will damage things on its way to the target.
Yeah. On the way out, it doesn't just have to be a return. So
It almost
a-
seems like it's a UAV version of the arbalist, how it just shoots through things.
Mhm.
It's the
Or
same
more of
principle, pretty
a
much.
crowd control weapon.
Yeah,
Flyby.
there you
Does
go.
a flyby on the way to the target. But I was going to agree with Ace there. I think it was he was saying about the that deflection. That deflection is actually better on that new hull than it is on the heavy cruiser. So I think even if you have no intentions of using this thing as a drone weapon, you could obviously use this as a tank. I mean,
Yeah,
it's got that kind of potential going for it. It's got all the specials and bells and whistles that a heavy cruiser would have without the useless heavy weapons.
And
pretty
and
much.
saying that, you don't actually have to put UAVs on it. You can put other weapons on it, and
Yeah.
still make it just as good.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
You could go.
go ahead.
It's more like I just lost train of thought.
Yeah, deflection is what makes it crucial. That's what made the heavy cruiser kind of a game changer. This, in a lot of ways, is too. You're right about that. It's not outstanding in the defenses or in the raw evade, but the fact that it has that deflection is huge in itself. I mean, but we talked about what killed UAVs. It's got to be APOX when people had to stop. It just that whole genre just dropped off. So they're trying to bring something back. We'll see how it goes. I need to see some videos to see what I'm gonna have to do. How my weekend's going to shape up.
Still have to see how their unreactive is against enforcers as well.
I hate that number. I'm with fucking the professor on that. The worst thing you can say to me is unreactive. Like, give me a fucking number. Just give me a percentage. Give me some way to build it, because they're not even. It's not all unreactive are created equal.
No.
And
Well,
I believe that, I got some fucking oceanfront land in Kansas for you.
it sucks that we have to
Mine.
rely on a procedure that Kixeye clearly doesn't like. I mean, they hate the fact that people are data mining, but unfortunately, it's the player's source of accurate information, and they're going to have to deal with it until they can provide the information accurately.
We need accuracy, Kickside. We need openness. We need fluid communication from both sides, because people have no faith in you. If you notice, anybody else notice that in the initial "these are the changes we're making" thread, they had to spell out, we did not change your weights, we did not nerf anything, we did not, like, they had to spell out everything that they supposedly didn't do just because we have no faith in what they are going to do.
And of course, the data miners took that and they went running with it. Let's see what they really did do. Let's see if they told any truth. Because we know it's not going to be right. We're just going to have to go look. We're going to have to get people to go to the Dark Alliance and do what they do and give us the real deal. Because Kixeye, I have no faith in them. None. Like telling us that this raid was going to be like the last one. I don't know what planet they think it's the same, other than they gave it the name. I mean, they could have named it, the Christmas raid. It would have been just as accurate as close to the last raid as far as I'm concerned. The targets are nothing like they were at all.
I've been saying that the revenge raid is basically Kix's revenge against complained about the Scourge.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys? I mean, like, did anybody even see? Speaking of Scourge, did anybody even see Vanguards? Because I must have slept through it. I was 5 minutes late when I
their
came home.
timer
There
was
was
off.
No, they're not out yet. They're still, another 18 hours before they spawn.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or probably.
Oh, see,
there was some complaining
ours
in the Kix
ticked
forum.
down all the way to 0, and then it just started back over at 2 days again, and they never came out.
That's what I was talking about.
What?
Yeah, the Scourge counter went all the way to 0 and then just reset.
Yeah, I woke up from a good hangover for that, and it didn't come.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Santa didn't even leave coal. I mean, Kixeye didn't even leave coal. I don't know. I'm trying not to be too
took a shit on your
pessimistic.
front yard is what the Santa did this right now. I mean, I don't think there's even any coal. I can burn coal, warm my fucking feet up from how fucking chilly they are in here. Give me some help.
Yeah. I was trying to put the link to the rep and rebalance info in chat, but
Yeah, you can't do it. I actually throw it up here. I can drop it in there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll drop it in the chat for us. I guys, I appreciate the people hanging out and watching. We didn't get a chance to promote this as well. We didn't know if it was going to happen. So we only had about 40 minutes leeway, so I appreciate the people that showed up and watched it every time. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell their wives. Come on out and watch the Alliance Crib show. And if you guys want to be on the show, reach out to anyone on the page, any of the guys, Burnin, myself, anyone that posts regularly, and we can get you in there. We'll get you a trial, see what you do. We want to hear from people. We don't want it to be just the same people. I appreciate the new faces that showed up tonight, the old faces that showed up, anyone that showed up, just so I didn't have to talk to a camera and the internet at large. No one wants to see the depths of myself for 60 minutes. It's a scary, scary place. All right, gentlemen. Is there anything else? Let's get some more some wrap-up targets here. We got about 20 minutes or so to kill. Anything that's on your minds?
I'm just looking at chat, see if anybody's got anything in chat for us.
Yeah, I'm quite annoyed that they didn't put any tokens in.
Yeah, that's a good point. No limited at all. Yeah, they actually took away the limited. Yeah, we still need that limited stuff. There's a lot of us that didn't get it because we were too limited on getting our limited last time. You got heavy cruisers, and if you don't have the right thermo resistance or whatever it's called, you didn't know to get that. You didn't get it, and now you got these boats that are turn like trains.
Yeah, they turn pretty damn bad.
Yeah, I was actually considering getting Tiger Sharks if they were going to bring out the Cobras again, but I think I'm going to have to pass on them again and just stick with the 2 Banshees that I got already.
Well, hopefully they'll put the Cobras back in the Vanguards because that's where people were getting them the best anyway. Nobody needs that many of those great big heavy weapons that are useless.
For some reason, it doesn't want to let me put that weapon chart up, gentlemen. So for people that were asking for it, it's going to be pinned in our thread, and that should be pinned on the BPC page. You go check it out there. You can see all the weapons. Good.
I mean, who's going to need 25 death, whatever they're called?
Sides, yeah.
Yeah, death size. What we need
Cobras.
is 25. Yeah.
I need more Cobras, motherfuckers.
Yeah, we need more Cobras. Yeah, we definitely do. I mean, we got a whole boat to outfit now, and got nothing to put on it.
Kixeye made me so mad I just scared my dog. Come on, Kixeye. What else are we talking about? Yeah, I think we all think we know that January is going to be a limited raid. That's what it's going to be. Because they always tend to do that. They give us the items afterwards, after you build those nice big shiny boats. So remember, it's not always the best idea to jump off that cliff right away. Especially not. I mean, people spend their money any way they want, but don't go coin it the first or second day of the raid. See what works. See what doesn't work. Spend your money wisely. Don't waste it. I've heard enough horror stories in this game that it's not worth going down that path.
Well, they've mentioned that they're going to do some rebalancing on build times. So hopefully people are smart enough to do some bare bones hull builds instead of some, right away, let's have it on the water next week builds. And I think that's you should be doing that anyway, because you all know that once the raid is over, the first FM that comes out usually has something that concerns the boats that we're trying to win. That
Speaking of FM, to cut you off, you see, I want to show this to all my fans, especially the people that hate me and they can take the joy from my pain. You see this sad face? This is the face of the man who has nothing left in elite tier except for blades and guided missile system. What's coming out after the raid?
That's evil.
More fucking shit.
Well, they should have put the blade in the raid. I've been saying that for a month. Every chance I get. That's the only reason I come on these shows, so I can say blades for raids, motherfuckers. And they don't listen. One thing I've been asking for.
One day.
Yeah, they will. Yep.
We're gonna get new shit. We're gonna get new shit after this raid. We always do. Something's coming.
They'll have a fleet
where they're gonna grow
missile
next?
deflection. Then you'll get the blade.
Then we get more corrosive.
No, then we'll go against the Scourge with our new missile deflection, corrosive resistant armor. Mm-hmm. Then you'll get the blade.
Yeah, going back to what you're saying about the FM, I just did it twice in 1 week for the first time.
Yeah.
Guess what my 2 prizes were? Both of the cadmium arbors.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that happened to me 1 week.
I was like, wow, really? Really?
Sometimes I feel like they do it for max pain and comic relief. Like, we're just going to pick was going to hit you in the nuts the hardest. Bam!
I think that. Let's see. We've got 75 people that are down to the last item of blade. Yes, it's time to add a second version of cadmium. What do you mean? The last one was pretty bad. Oh, this one will be even worse.
Yes. Yes,
And
that's
that's-
exactly what I need. You want to expand upon that with cadmium? We talked about that in our pre-show a little bit. We always little behind the screen.
They added a few things to it to make it a little better, and they even tried to get us to use it by lowering the repair value of it. But it's still, to me, it's still just not even good enough. I mean, it's not worth the amount of time that it takes to change, let alone, even if it was just as good as the other stuff, it's not worth taking what I have off and putting something worse on. You might use it to replace a V-armor panel, but that's it.
But is it worth the time to refit it?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So
They have a long way to go to make it worth the time. Speaking of refitting, man, it's kind of crazy. I don't know who has time to go backwards in this game anymore. I know I don't. I'm trying to just move forward the best I can. I don't have time to take stuff off. That's why, like, I have 4 Cobras in my Frosty. The only reason I haven't changed it for something else is because, well, I don't have blades, and I don't want to spend the time to take the fuckers off. I like my Frosty enough that I don't want to have to be gone for 4 days just to get the fuckers off there.
That's just it. Refits take as long as new builds, so if you're forced to fix something that's already working versus have something new that will work better, what are you going to do?
Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, back when ships only took a week to build, I remember I used to have like 6 of each ship because that way you could refit one but not mess up your fleet any. But that's kind of, nowadays, just refits are like 2-3 weeks.
I have a lot of MCXs for that exact reason. I have multiples of MCXs for that exact reason. It's not that way anymore.
I actually put blades on my MCX, and it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I might. Well, I've got 15 of them.
Ooh.
So no, 17 of them. So it might be time to change some of them over. I mean, well, I had nothing. That was the best hull I had, so I just built it out. Then impulse launchers came out. So fucking impulse launcher MCXs, and they kicked ass for about 3 months, and then they don't do anything anymore.
I had those.
You
I'm
know what I
going to
mean?
say a dirty word because I know they don't want to hear it. But, if they want us to do all these refits, why don't they give us a special place to do them? I don't know, something like a dry dock or something.
You
A
say
place that
double
can
D
only
is
be
trying to run
done.
around the house.
They can only be done. Well, I figured it. We need something to laugh and smile about. I'm sure Kicksai's laughing their asses off of that idea. But, they got all these refits we got to do, and we can't stop building to do them. So why not just give us a special place to do it? They can only be done. Don't take anything away.
They are getting better with new functionality, I've noticed. So it could be that, kind of like we've got those new torpedoes or whatever they are that cost uranium to build, and so they build extra quick. So they are coming up with some solutions. I don't know what their solution is going to be. I know that their original argument against the dry dock is that the way the code was originally written, it wasn't going to be feasible. But, maybe a quick refit weapon or something. I don't know. But, it seems like they are trying to fix some of the things we've been complaining about for 2-3 years.
I'm not sure where I read this, Matt, but I'm honestly pretty sure that at one point they said we couldn't fix on the map. Because I believe it was requested a long time ago. I'd have to look again to see where it's at, but I'm pretty sure I remember thinking when that came out, wow, I remember reading that couldn't be done.
Well, and it might not have been possible with the guys that were running the development shop at the time, because you get your initial developers, they put it out there, because let's not forget, this was just this was a Facebook game back when people were still playing Farmville. So I mean, this was not made out like to be Skyrim or anything. It's not like it's got a really robust code base, but you get the right guy in there. You get somebody from frickin' Norway or something that's just a savant with the code, and he can make things happen.
Well, it's still,
but they probably just didn't have that until recently.
They're crippled by Flash. They really are. And everyone who knows anything knows they're crippled by Flash. And until they decide to move the code base off of this, I've kind of never understood why they didn't just undertake it and make it a host game and make a true online hosted event. Because I would log in to a real game, just like WoW. It's like by WoW I mean Warships or anything else, just to have it as a separate server-based environment that's not tied to Flash. I mean, rebuild it in there's a couple different code bases you could use that would dramatically improve it. It's kind of my opinion. It's kind of where I've always wished the game would go. I don't think it's ever going to happen. We're always going to be tied to Facebook. They're always going to be tied to the easy access. But someday, before the end of life, I wish they would do it. But I don't think it's ever going to happen. My pipe dream. It's my Christmas miracle wish that one day we'll get a game that works.
I've done some cross-platform migrations in the past, and it's a really heavy undertaking. And I think if they would have done it sometime when Battle Pirates was still in its heyday, then that's going to be something that would have been something that they could have done. But now, I mean, how many people are still playing? Are they really getting the income to undertake something like that?
I think there's still money being made. The company's still open. They're still in San Francisco, which is one of the most expensive places in the fucking world to have a business. Why this has got to be there, I don't understand. I've never quite understood why they do that. Their Canada studio is so much more price efficient than having one in San Francisco. But Will Harvin's got to make his appearances. He's got to look down from his ivory tower and look over the slum that is San Francisco's business district. Another story. Yeah, you never know. Things I don't think they're going to change. It's just kind of the way the game is. We're stuck with it for now. So, those that are addicted, we stand here. That's why I don't think I'll ever. The 0, what would you rate this game to a friend? 0? Go down the panel. When you get those surveys, what do you give them?
I just look at them like they look at my dry dock.
If I ask you zeros
Nemo
together, is it a bigger number?
No, I honestly still can't recommend this game to a friend. Still can't do it. Wish I could.
Yeah, years ago,
really want to.
Something. Yeah.
I mean,
at
we were
most,
talking about
the best
that.
we can do. Yeah, at best, the best we can do is try and get some of our old players back, maybe. But I mean, new players in, and I talked with Nemo about this offline. My son was talking about World of Warcraft or something's got a beginner kit. So if you come in and you haven't played before, then they give you like the regular starter pack, but then they might give you some things that'll keep you competitive, like might actually allow you to complete Tier C without asking for help, that kind of stuff.
I thought they did for a while, a couple months ago. They did kind of big bumps. Is this or something? Am I completely off my ass today? But I do remember that coming out a while ago, where they just kind of spoon-fed you some content. Then again, the campaigns are good for that too. You can still get a lot of stuff out of that campaign. There's still room for the younger players to grow, but it's not just to get the events. Like they did fuck up on that. The Christmas raid used to be you could get something for everyone, but that was back before everyone started helping each other out so much. I mean, there's a period of the last year's Christmas raid where people were spoon-fed some shit, and a lot of people grew real fast last year for Christmas. And I think Kickstarter is trying to limit that a little bit this year. And it's evident in the points, the distribution, the way you get fucking points. It was bad enough they had to raise the points on the first day. I mean, I'm sure everybody saw that. They raised them up by 100% on one tier and 40% on the other.
I think it's 100% on the B's and the C's.
No, it was
they didn't
40%.
do anything for the A's. It was
on
awful. Oh, was it 40?
Yes.
Yeah, I just know that they needed to double. They needed to double the A's and leave the. They need to do something with all the damage people are taking in A's. I mean, all I see is people either going really easily through the A's, or they just can't even touch them. There's nothing in between. There's nobody grinding through them and paying heavily. They're just doing them or not doing them. It's just, you either have it or you don't. And I don't. I'm doing B's, and I'm doing okay because I spotted that early. I walked away from the A's instead of trying to struggle with doing 3 or 4 sets of A's, and went ahead and did 20 or 30 sets of B's and put half that money back into the wallet instead.
Hey, you guys, speaking of that, we have confirmed no coin deal at all this raid. Anybody interested? Are you still putting money on? Have you put money on? Are you lamenting putting money on? What's your deal? Spill your guts.
I'm waiting until tomorrow to put the rest of mine on. I only put
I'm gonna hold out
on just to get me by.
Yep.
I'm gonna go small, $10 at a time probably.
Yep. There's no point in making a big purchase. The bonuses suck. All the card deals that were available to buy Facebook cards kind of dried up for the season. Yeah, Kicksai's not helping either. I mean, they want us to have this stuff, and this is the time to have it, and they're blocking themselves by not giving out Cobras and not having coin deals. They're literally limiting their own paycheck.
They would have gotten a decent pay from me this period if they had had some kind of coin deal. I would have dropped $50 probably. I would have bought it, said Merry Christmas to me, and it would set in my account for a little bit.
Honestly, if they'd have done that too for... Yeah.
Go ahead, let Ace get his comment out. And then
Sorry.
Yeah, in Australia, we got your Facebook cards, gift cards. They're 20% off at Coles.
That's good to know. We have Coles here, but I haven't seen any deals. And if anybody knows of any in chat, please let us know. We'll put it out there.
Yeah, guys.
But I would love to hear from some.
If anyone hears about it in the future, you can always send those kind of things to the admins. And if they're a good enough deal, they'll post them up and pin them up for a while or add them to our pin post on the Alliance Crib. We like to share that information for people. So if anybody finds them where they're rampant, share the wealth, share the knowledge.
All right. Well, this one's available until the 15th in Australia. So
4 days, gentlemen. Jump on that if you want to save a little bit on BP.
Is it something you can buy online? Do you know if we can order it online and buy it here in the States and use it here, or do you?
Is that your crazy kangaroo money, or is American dinero?
Yeah.
It's still 20% off. So whatever you pay, you're still only paying 20% of. Yeah, 20%.
So it's not in Kiwis or Wallabies. It's American. All right.
All right, gentlemen. We got any other comments or concerns? Chat's letting me down. I appreciate the people that are out there, but give me some comments. Give me some questions. Give me some concerns. You got to have something to say. Steven's a jackass. Whatever you want to say, throw it out there. And if it's good enough, we'll say it on the show. We'll talk about it. We'll let you be heard. But you got about 10 minutes left. So
yeah, I'm seeing people more loving of Norway there. Somebody mentioned Norway, and then all of a sudden the crowd woke up a little bit over there. But what I was going to say is we're actually trying to help Kicksai by getting people information. They should help us. You know, I don't know what happened to the whole here's your Christmas coins, but at this point, you know, between screwing up the things that they've tried to work on, I would have thought at least a small apology would have at least kept people around. You know, people that are doing the raid. You know, at this point they put some money in, and some of them have been screwed out with that repair on the map and, you know, resetting our things. I mean, there's been a fair amount of mistakes, and I wish they would at least acknowledge it.
All right, before we go, I know I just asked for you guys some input. I'll ask it again in a few minutes, but I'm going to derail it for one more second. I think we'd be amiss if we didn't talk about not only what we want, but if there's any more go-to, gotta have it, gotta love it prizes in terms of hulls that people may have missed. Right off the bat, we do know that the Sago's Prototype Hunter is in here. If you missed that in the tournament, in the arena, or you wanted it, you want to go that way, it's always there. People haven't picked up Grimshines. Any Grimshine variant, you are paying the cost for the repairs. If you don't have that overload, get it. Don't forget about it. Oh, don't overlook it. Even a Grimshine Berserker retrofitted up is a powerful fucking ally to have in a fleet. And it's good to have in your second or third or B string or whatever you want to use. Some people still use them in their base. I saw somebody in one of my sub pages I'm a member of posting a pretty beastly addition to their guard fleet with Grimshine that they just won. So they're pretty happy for being like a level 55 or 60. Put it in their guard. Anybody that jumps off you guys that you need to grab out of this list? Frostburns, 15 mil. Got to have Frosty.
Frostburns. If you do not have Frostburns, get Frostburns. That's been my go-to ship. Matter of fact, I even switched some ships around because those Frostburns just help you a lot with a lot of the stuff coming in there today.
Holy shit!
Especially if you're doing A's.
Highlander new cruiser, 8 million. Anybody who's still running them, running the FCs, just doesn't have fucking one? I didn't get one until a couple months ago.
Just build one empty and run it with any fleet just for the extra resist.
Yes, you don't build it. Do not build. If you want to give it a little health to survive, that's okay. But do not build it up as a fucking first line fighting thing. You need to send that the fuck away. You need to run away and do it with the other 4 boats. But,
I just noticed somebody in chat just said Grumpy Pirate was saying that the Sea Scorp A is great for the ultra small, real small player because they can load it with blades, you know. But they got to get blades. So if you've got blades and you're still playing with Sea Scorp A's,
this is my friend in WSS.
My head. because I don't understand what you're doing.
That did that. Just thank you, because he did the same thing, and then he showed it to me. He's like, Steven, check out my new awesome fleet.
Oh.
You just made us repair fleets with blades, didn't you? Bastard.
Well, I've seen people do that. They run instant repair Seawolves or instant repair battle cruisers with blades, and I'm thinking to myself, that's great for the small player, but how's the small player getting blades?
Do you guys think about Harlocks? Would you go for a Harlock Atlas cruiser with the new UAV? Say you can't get the new one? Anybody recommend reaching out for those at all? Put one on your base for the overload? For the chance
A few
of
more
random?
points you can get. A few more
No,
points you can
cause-
get the Crusader, or you can get the new cruiser.
I mean, what would it look? You don't think it's
Because
worth for the
you'd
overload
have
switch?
to get more than one.
Yeah, they're not
because-
limited. Yeah,
It's
the
still
new
cheap
the
though.
new hull's
They're not that
limited.
expensive in the overwad. 8 mil.
If you're going to spend the points to get two of them at 16 mil, you're better off getting the new hull.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Here's something I'll bring up though, is that if you're looking at the prize list for December, and the world is our oyster with this prize list. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that I don't even have, Makos and stuff. What we got, I think, one more revenge raid, and then what do we expect after that? So
Good.
that's what I'm looking at and that's the stuff that we got to start building now, because in 2 months, that's where we're going to be fighting. Now they'll send out some teasers because we knew the Scourge were coming out, and I started building. Oddly enough, Vipers, which I thought was going to help out a lot against all the. You knew it was going to be subs coming out, so I built a lot of Vipers. They didn't do as well as the Rhinos, but I mean, you know that something else is going to be. We're going to be changing enemies again in 2 months, so kind of look at whatever hints are out there as to what we might be doing. Start building those now, because if you're starting to build for the revenge raids, we've only got one more of those. If you can get it built by next month, great. If you can't, look at what they're giving us as to what's coming up next, all the teasers or whatever, and just buy for that.
I
Yeah,
agree.
it's
The lack of information. We don't know what's coming. I'd like to say it's the Scourge, but only if the Scourge are not the same old Scourge that killed us before. Because I don't feel any better prepared than I was, really.
Yeah, I mean, we're only seeing them right now on the 49, 69, 89s, and then if the Vanguards ever release on a regular schedule. But, I mean, we know that there's still going to be some Scourges out there because it's a new element out in the ocean. So we're still going to have some anti-sub ships. Are they going to go back to Scourge or whatever else? I mean, usually there's some sort of a tip out there. They'll give us some sort of heads up as to what sort of raid format's coming back. It might not be this week, it might not be next week, but generally I've seen that we've had about 30 days of notice. And now the problem is that was great back when you could build 4 ships in 30 days. Nowadays most ships take 20, 30 days to build. So, but we've also had 3, 4, 5 years of building hulls that hopefully we've got a few hulls out there we can do something with.
All right, gentlemen, I think we're about at our allotted time for this session. If you guys want to book another therapy session, we'll be here again next week. Same time, same place. Anybody that wants to be part of this madness, this utter craziness that we call our community show, feel free to reach out to us on the Alliance Group page. We have a little subgroup we get together. We talk about what we're going to talk about for the week. If you're really interested and you do a good job, we'll go ahead and add you to it. Matt, welcome to the club. You're in that little subgroup, and we can talk about crap and, complain about how bad people hate me. We appreciate the people that showed up. We got a good solid double-digit show for as late as we got that posted up, late as we got this set up. So appreciate you guys hanging out. Remember, check the page for the next few days. There will be stuff up there for the raid. There will be tricks, tips, and helpful information. See, I can't talk. It takes a few tries throughout the weekend and into Monday and Tuesday to help you guys get through this event. So don't blow your wad. Don't shoot your computer. Don't murder Kixeye employees. Keep it safe out there. Keep it classy. And happy holidays.
One last thing.
Yeah,
One
one
last
last thing. Mickey Rogers just pointed out in chat that a good hint for the future upcoming raids is going to be the Scourge, because we still have the Ghost Shards out.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
that might just be those Vanguards.
That and Monday, we're still going to be halftime repairs, and people are going to want their alliance points. So remember, click repair.
gonna get it. You're
Don't
gonna
take
get it
offense.
hard. Everyone's gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Put in a shitty base guard. Click repair. Spend your fucking 4 coins and move on. So on that, guys, we're gonna get out of here because I got boats to go kill. I got fleets to fucking destroy in stupid, stupid ways. By that I mean my own, not kick size. So I got some work to do. All right, gentlemen, thanks for sticking around. See you guys next time.
See ya.
Later.